I can count each one of you as a friend. I want you to join me in a song. God Bless America. My brother wanted me to sing it today. And I want each one of you to sing it. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night, from the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide above. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you. God bless you.
Past council chair. Oh, Hal Palmer.
Congratulations, President Tom, on your first meeting, fellow lights and guests. The first happy dollar, Mrs. Deussen, could you stand up? Kathleen. This is Kathleen the Wonderful. I got to tell you, the last half of my shift, she kept me in line because I didn't understand how I could make it. So thank you very much, Kathleen. Second sad dollar is having to cancel out on a cooking shift because apparently I'm not old enough. No, I guess I'm too old to handle a 3-hour shift standing.
No, you're too slow.
Oh, that's what it is. Let's go for that. Third happy dollar is the grandkids were all up this weekend, watched the fireworks, and it was just wonderful. And it's great to see Grizzly Adams, because my last happy dollar is a comment from Ralph Lasanti online. Your brother was great with the Colonel Sanders and the Grizzly Adams joke. So we do have people here that are listening, taking notes. Have a great day.
Past District Governor Mike.
President Tom, fellow lines and guests. Not everybody knows that Ron Stopler just had a birthday the other day.
We must sing. Happy Marilyn Patterson again.
President Tom, fellow Alliance and guests, where'd Hal go? I wanted to say hello to the Lions that are attending on Zoom meeting. You mentioned Ralph Lasante. Hey Ralph, first time he's here. Anyway, welcome to our club. I'm glad that you're online. He's not usually here attending, so let's give him a hand. And whoever else is on there today, thank you.
Am I done? Oh. Dolly. Do you have a title? Wait a minute. District Governor. Past District Governor. All right. Past spouse of District Governor. Okay. Just a happy dollar for the 4th of July weekend. We did great. I'll let you know soon. And also Doug's 3/4 of a century years old. His birthday was July 1st. Past District Governor, Mr. Doug Harvey.
President Tom and new cabinet and fellows, lines and guests, I have 3 happy dollars. One of them is because the last 3 days, we have been killed, but we have been successful. I've never seen so many dedicated Lions working. Extra shifts, hard work, but it paid off. Did anybody tell everybody?
No, I will.
You want to tell? Okay. She will tell you how, it's really fantastic. The second one is, I'm no longer district governor. I'm happy as you are. Marilyn, I wish you the very best this year. We'll do everything we can in support of you. My last $70 is because for some reason all of a sudden my computer, my cell phone will quiet it down and there's nothing coming in.
Is it your husband?
Ah, that's great. Thank you.
Reed Skinner, 3rd Vice President.
President Tom, fellow Lions and honored guests. My comment is probably reiterating what everybody else has been saying, but I am so amazed and impressed about the preparation that it had to go in before the events even started. Just watching what everybody did, and there was a large number of people, I couldn't even get the names of names, but I was very impressed with that. And the last thing I'm going to mention, this is not probably a compliment to Colonel Sanders, but somebody tried to order apparel for me this week. Not me.
Thank you, Reed. Oh,
I'm out of sequence, I know.
past zone chair Gary Hill would like to make a comment.
Actually, President Tom, it's a very short story. It's been a couple years ago that our Congresswoman Jamie Herrera Butler was our program speaker. Somebody had a birthday and I warned her, cover your ears. She goes, what? When the song was over, she goes, well, you should have warned me sooner.
Thank you, Gary. We're going back to Mr. Cheryl, I would never forget you.
You got a wrap, okay.
I've got 4 years up there.
That was pretty good. Ron Stopler.
President Tom, fellow Lions guests, unsung hero, $6. Jane Gordon, for all of the scheduling she did to get all of us crazy people that work.
Thank you, Ron. Yeah. Cheryl, see, I would never forget you.
Okay.
Cheryl, 2nd Vice President.
I have 2 happy bucks. The first happy buck is that we had a very President Tom and fellow Lions and yes. Okay, I'm happy that we had such a successful go for it outing. And my second happy dollar is everybody among us that went over there came back alive.
I'm gonna wrap it up.
Bruises here and there.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's up to you, Tom.
okay. Well, I'd love to start this meeting, but the gavel's gone. So unless somebody wants to turn it in, we'll sit here.
I have the gavel under my chair because the illustrious past district governor snuck it over as part of the friendship tax. So I am giving $1 because of our past district governor.
I didn't do it.
Okay, we'll start the meeting. Invocation by John Claypool.
Thank you, President Tom. Father, we stand before you, always in thanksgiving for the many blessings which you bestow on us. We thank you for the fun and fellowship we have here at ask you to keep watching over us as our season stays busy. And thank you for the food that we have eaten today. We will serve you better. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge by Louis Pickett.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Song by David Smith.
Country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of thy pilgrims pride, from every mountain side, let freedom ring.
Okay, Margie, yeah, do we have any guests?
President Tom, fellow members, we have no guests today that signed in.
I see some faces out there that, to me, they're guests. Yeah. Bruce?
Valerie Incorporated, recently retired, lives in Seaside. His address can be found online. He's got extra bedrooms. Give him a call.
Okay, concessions, Louis?
Lions and fellow guests, wherever you are. We had a great Fourth. We had a lot of help, and I thank everyone that came and put their time in and helped. And we got this Thursday, we're going to need some more help because we got concerts at the lake. So Jane has it online. I signed myself up last night. So anyway, go online. I'm sure there's a spot there for you. Oh, and John, the kids' races next year will be better because it'll be on the 4th.
Okay, membership, Greg?
President Tom, for Lions guests, a little bit on membership. Last month, the end of the Lions year, we had to drop 6 members out of the club. But this month, we already have 8 individuals joining our ranks. And we got 2 others on the hook, so you have friends, and that's a big one, if you have friends. Relatives, invite them to come to a work party, see what we do, see how much fun we have, and get them into the club. Thank you.
Okay, Margie, do you have anything for the sunshine? Nothing? Okay. Okay. Jane has something she wants to say.
Thank you, everybody that signed up, but the sign-ups are not over with. They are coming. We only have about 5 more for the actual concert, but we do need people to help with prep, and we do need people to help with cleanup. So please help out. That's not why I'm up here. If you have old towels, washcloths, things like that, that you're gonna just throw out, bring them or turn them in, take them to the shop, because we can use them in cleanup. And I don't even care if they're holy or stained or whatever, because we'll cut them up and make them into grill rakes, because those get so bad we can't even wash them again. So we go through a lot of towels once we have the chuck wagon up and running. So if you've got some stuff, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Good job. Okay, any of the cabinet here got anything? Lloyd?
Here again. King Lion Tom, Bill Lance. Going to have a video today doing a little bit of talk about a new law that was passed in the state of Washington, which is basically an income tax. A lot of people aren't aware of it yet, so I thought it might be a good time to just make people aware of it.
Investment advice, go to that professional. We're here to provide you with a product. We're basically the conduit from the insurance company to you. We will help you with presentations and quotes and everything to your clients, but for specific tax, legal, and investment advice, go to that profession for your information. We can provide you with basic stuff, but when it gets into the details about a specific client, it's better to talk to those professionals. And actually probably pay a little bit of money so that there is some liability there that, on that advice. All right, so basically, let's look at a few facts for long-term care. 70% of those people 65 right now will require long-term care sometime in the future. So 30%, those are the guys that go from an active life to 6 feet under. 70% go from an active life and slowly decline and go into home health care or full-time care itself. So everybody, a lot of people are going to use it. Most of the people that around you will use long-term care. Both my parents did. It's not a great experience, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do. 24,000 is what average Washington State resident uses for in-home health care per year. 65,000 for full-on nursing home. If you look at the total of people using it, it's about 11 million per year. It's a big chunk of change. And that's why legislators wanted to create this HB 1087. Basically, it covers everybody 18 years or older. With a 0.58% of their W-2 income. It does exempt self-employed workers with the caveat if you're taking a W-2, you're going to be included. You're going to have to opt out of that coverage to make sure you don't pay that tax. The taxes that they collect for this benefit will be invested into a trust fund and distributed to vested qualified employees. Now remember, it's vested qualified employees. Not everybody. You have to be vested. And we'll go over the vesting in detail, but it's 3 of the past 6 years of tax payments prior to the claim, or paying taxes for 10 years without a 5-year break, 5-year normal break. Okay, so here's the employee's responsibility. They've got to either opt in or opt out. And if they opt out, they have to get an exemption by applying for it between October 1st, 2021 and December 31st, 2022. The employee's got to provide the written documentation from the insurance company, apply for the exemption. Once they get it, they have to give it to the employer. Now, keep in mind, the state does not have the exemption form or the webpage completed yet. So we don't know what that looks like yet. Imagine it's going to be a couple of questions. I asked if it's going to be an upload, and the person I talked to said they don't know. It's still in the works. Here it is, July 1st. October 1st is the start date. 3 months, I'm not sure if they will. It shouldn't be that hard to make a webpage, landing page that has that information. The hard part is going to be when they get that exemption information, how fast are they going to be able to process it and give you an exemption certificate. So, for all you people that say, oh, let's wait, don't wait. Get it done now. Get it done so the policy's in effect before October 1st, so they can get that exemption in immediately, and they can get that exemption certificate before January 1st. Now, here's the thing in the yellow. If the employee fails to notify the employer of any exemption, they're not going to get a refund of any taxes deducted. They may in the first quarter, because it goes on a quarterly basis. The employer will be holding that money. pays that tax, that money's gone. So don't wait and don't let the state inefficiencies on getting this approved for the exemption run in after that first quarter payment. Get the policy approved, get the exemption done on the first date of October, 1st of October. Get that quickly, give it to the employer so they don't have to worry about any issues with not getting money back. So the employer runs the responsibility. Remember, this is not for the employer. The employer is basically a gatekeeper. The employees need to do the work. Apply, opt in, opt out, get the policy, get the documentation, give it to the employer. Employers are paying the taxes, they're deducting it from payroll, they're retaining the documents, and basically holding on to it. The state may require the employer to do a little bit more work later on, but right now it's collect the documents, deduct the taxes, offer the payroll, pay the taxes to the employment security. That's it. They don't have to do anything other than that. Now, they may want to give you the opportunity to talk to the employees so that the employees can make a decision, but other than that, that's all that's required by the employer. Now, the benefits, to get the benefits, employee has to satisfy 3 of 10 ADLs. Most of your long-term care policies are 2 of 6. There used to be 2 of 8, now it's gone down to 6 because it's a little bit easier qualification, liberalized. The employee's going to get up to $100 a day, up to a lifetime maximum $36,500. Now, they say that there's going to be some carryover, so if they don't use $100 per day, say he's 25, 75 will go into the pool, into that bucket of money of $36,500. Yeah, that's fine. But when you look at the cost of long-term care, $100 a day is not going to go very far. If you look at in-home health care, not going to go very far. That's on average about $150 a day. Some kind of visiting nurse, that's pretty expensive. It isn't cheap. And I guarantee you that $100 per day is going to get eaten up pretty quick. Vesting, that employee's got to be vested to get the benefits, and they have to be a resident of the state at the time of claim, and it has to be with a Washington State approved provider, not transferable to other states. So, that's one of the pitfalls of this program. Here's your court dates. November 1st, got to have that policy dated prior to November 1st. Taxes begin accruing or being withdrawn on January 1st. Benefits are available January 1st, 2025. So 3 years of taxes, no benefits. And you have your exemption period where they can start applying for that between after October 1st of this year. Long-term effect on the employer is going to be that they got to do a little bit more work. Got to start paying taxes, got to start paying the tax. They got to hold the documents, and they have to inform the employer, hey, here's your taxes. Now, when they get hired, it's just another thing in their new hired kit that they have to do. Employees, they have to get lifetime tax. Something that's great about living in Washington. You got another tax that you're going to pay for your life. For example, $100,000 is going to pay $500 a year. For a person making $100,000, doesn't seem too much in the whole scheme of things, but remember, that's starting. Once the claims start to pour in, that rate is going to go up. The actuaries have already told them that 58% of payroll, 0.58% of payroll is too low. So look at that as a rate that's going to go up dramatically and fairly soon after the program starts to receive it. Current average semi-private rate is $300 a day in Washington State. Remember, that's in Washington State, not Western Washington, that's in Washington State. So you got some lower costs over on the eastern side than you do on the western side. So if you're on the western side, that's going to be higher. Actual benefit, we're going to opting out of the program, they have to submit the form with the policy. It's getting harder to get a policy because companies keep withdrawing from the market. They keep upping or increasing the minimum premiums, the minimum benefits, so it's getting tougher to do. All right, so remember, it's a 7702B long-term care plan or rider. It's not a 101G. And you can know that it's qualified because you have to have the 8 initial CE credits and the 4 renewal CE credits to sell the plan. If you don't, it's probably a 101G and it's not going to qualify. We've got life policies with long-term care riders. We've got annuities. We've got group voluntary down to 10. We've got group voluntary at 100. And with National Guardian, you'll see what we have on the group basis here too. You can go to remember this number here. This tells you what the long-term care policy is. RCW 48.83.020. So remember that number if you need to determine if it's an actual qualifying policy. So I'm not going to spend too much time because you can read that yourself. Plus this video is being recorded, this webinar is being recorded, it'll be on the website. All right, so these are policies that are not approved, lump sum payouts, basically terminal illness riders. I don't understand what the holdup is. You know, if you've got a policy that pays you a lump sum payout, once you qualify for benefits, who cares if it's a lump sum or monthly or whatever? It's money that you can use to pay it. I think they're afraid that they want a reimbursement plan so that it goes to the provider instead of into the pocket of the insured, and you never use long-term care. It's one of those mommy laws where the state's decided to be your mommy or daddy and tell you how to spend your money. Sorry about my politics. But anyways, chronic illness riders, critical illness plans, accelerated benefit riders, those are the policies. Vesting, here's the important part. Remember, it's 10 years without a break of 5 years or more. Okay, so if you got people that are going to retire in 9 years, they need to opt out because they'll never get a benefit. I've heard comments of some people that are 65, well, I just pay a couple, 1 year in and I'm good. No, you have to pay 3 years of tax in the 6 years prior to the claim. And so if you retire at 65, and you paid 3 years, so you start at 62, you paid 3 years of tax, that claim's got to come in, and you've got to have a claim 6 years prior to do that, and pay 3 years out of that to get the claim. If not, you're out of luck. You're not going to get a benefit. So when I go back down to the end where we talk about next steps, you look at those folks that would be retiring in 9 years or less. And cost, that's 0.58% of W2, an increase. Here's an example, 40-year-old. Yeah. A 40-year-old is not, if they're making $100,000 today, their pay is going to go up. If it goes on the CPI, 3% a year, plus some raises, plus they're going to get some benefits, some bonuses. Remember, anything that's on that W2 is going to be included on this tax, and there's no cap. People in the tech industry, if you know those, you got clients in there, you need to talk to them because they're making good money, and there's no cap. Reasons for opting out, well, it's obvious, you don't want to pay tax that you're not going to get a benefit for. You got to be in the state limit at the time of claim. You got to use a state-approved provider or facility. You got a limit of $100 a day. That's not going to go far at all. And you can't increase the benefit on the state plan. Now, some people are saying, well, go to the state plan and I'll buy a supplement. Well, little rumors here and there saying, well, the state's already looked at that. They're saying, well, if you have a plan that's more than $100 a day, we're not going to pay a benefit. We're going to coordinate benefits. So you may have some problems collecting on that. All right, so here's what you're here for. We're talking about National Guardian Life. This is their logo. They're not affiliated with Guardian Life. We've been using National Guardian for a long time.
Not going to get into the product side of it. That's a different issue. One of the things that's happened product-wise for us in long-term care is several companies have already pulled out of the state of Washington and won't issue a policy any longer. And others have changed their underwriting criteria to make it a lot more difficult to get them. So one of the things we're constantly fighting is who's going to be available when and where and how. And I don't have an answer on that because it's changing faster than I can keep up with it. So. Mike, did you have a question?
Sorry, but if this was going to be interesting, but just couldn't hear it. I mean, we're getting old.
Sorry about that.
No, for yourself. It's interesting because I do have long-term health care insurance.
Right.
And anyway, I'm trying to mold all that in, but it's just.
Pat?
So I guess as an employer and an employee, this is really actually vital only for people who are employees and employers at this point. The key that I try to tell my staff is very simple. Is that if you can find a long-term care option that's less than $350, because I'm already adding the fact that the state will have to increase it, because they'll have to buy new cars and all kinds of stuff to service this new department. It'll be $350 by next year. But I can tell you, after looking on the market for a 62-year-old guy for long-term health insurance, they actually would like me to buy policies that are just slightly over my annual income. Yeah, because apparently everybody retired with $1 million. I didn't know that.
Rick?
So, in listening to that, as a person, let's say if you were working and you left that business and you went over to work for Pat, do you take that paperwork with you over there, or is it going to be up to the previous employer to take you across to where your employer is?
It's up to the individual. Now another item of that too, someone who, particularly for our border area, somebody who's living in Oregon, working in Washington, they have to pay the tax. But if they try to collect the benefit in Oregon, there is no benefit.
Can we get a new governor?
Dolly?
Well, it's my understanding from listening to this, that anybody working in the state of Washington has to pay this tax. They don't have a choice unless they have an authorized long-term policy. Is that correct?
Correct. If they're on a W-2 payment.
So all of us in this room probably wouldn't benefit anything because you gotta work for a solid 10 years, stay in the state of Washington. Otherwise, you're out.
That's correct.
You're right, you're not going to get me to work for that one here.
Got one more. More back to work.
Jimmy?
Hey?
None that I've heard about yet. The question was if they're facing a court case concerning the bill. And I'm not aware of any court cases that have been brought up yet, or challenges. It's going into effect. It is in effect legally. In other words, it's been passed and signed by the governor. Pat?
So I want everybody to be aware of something here is that the illustrious Washington State Employment Securities Division is going to be in charge of this money. So we are absolutely certain there's a number of Nigerian princes who we're going to be getting 36.
Yeah.
Anytime soon. So that's going to be good. Don't be
Yeah. Now, part of it you got to think about, legislatures' approach, thoughts on passing this is going to save Medicaid money. Right. So it's a transfer. The other thing is, what I've found out so far is that those who work for the federal government do not have to pay the tax. Whether they get a benefit or not, that's another question. Of course, a lot of them don't stay in the state long enough to get a benefit anyway, so. So it's a Leroy.
Hey.
You can give me a call and I'll do what I can for you. Or anyone look up anyone who deals in long-term care insurance.
We should fine him for making a sale.
I haven't made a sale yet. And in most cases, I refer most people that call me about it to someone who's an expert at it. I'm not. It's like a lot of things. Sometimes there's only so much one person can do. And long-term care is a very specially market area, so I prefer to work with someone who's really expertise in it rather than trying to do it myself.
Thank you. Thanks, Larry. Okay, let's do, is there any senility? Gail?
President Tom, fellow Lions and guests, I thought there was quite a few, but on the last page, there's a lot of duplicates, and that's where people, I just found this out, so, I was checking it, and, yeah, everyone signed in.
Jim?
I have a complaint. Can we quit referring to this as senility? I feel offended.
Hal?
Ralph Lasante on the line here is driving one of his cars up to the Toledo Tuesday this weekend. He wants to know if any other Lions are going to be driving their cars up there for the car show. Toledo Lions Tuesday. So we got a fancy car like, let me see, I got a 06 Pacific I with a dead or two.
Correct.
Okay, you want me to let you know?
Okay, so on the reports, we need to make sure you do your sign-ups for Thursday for the concerts. If you would, please. Jane's worked hard at getting that all online, so sign up. We need people. And, okay, we'll do our drawing. Red ticket? It's red. Okay, well, let me see.
Whatever color he wants, he's president.
Yeah. 927.
Yes.
Oh, 915.
What? Are you sure it isn't 5-1?
915.
Are you dyslexic?
David.
David, got it. Why? Oh, what do you want, David, to do? Do you want it or do you? White cane. Okay. See, I'm just doing this backwards. White ticket.
Yeah, face that way if you want to do it backwards.
472. Eight 1-9. Isn't that 2 weeks in a row, Parker?
Hey, Mike, I got the wrong ticket. I think we trade.
Okay, and last but not least, Jane, who's on for desserts.
Believe it or not, the first choice goes from the card picker over there.
Okay, I guess that's it. I'm gonna close the meeting.